People always say go for quality over quantity, but if you go for quality and quantity, you can get some pretty magical results. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at a e-commerce brand that recently raised $70 million. And the interesting part about it is that at a first glance, if any of you have any sort of drop shipping experience, you'll see that it's kind of just a general store, but they've just branded it beautifully. So the store is called Very Shop, and we're just gonna basically break this down entirely. Now, if you're new to my channel or you simply don't know what I do, my business, my company is a performance agency where we help 7 and 8 figure Shopify stores, e-commerce brands in general, not just e-commerce brands, but I say that because I'm a huge Shopify advocate. I think starting a side hustle is what got me here in the first place. And I think Shopify is the perfect place to do that. But the reason I mention this is because we work with some incredible brands, and I'm so blessed to get all of this insight from the inside of these brands. And that's part of the reason why I love analyzing stores as well, so that I can figure out what's working for them, compartmentalize it, and make some sort of scientific conclusion based on all the data that I'm gathering. But anyways, if we browse this a little bit, you can see right away that they have a pretty ridiculous amount of product categories, right? So they go from jewelry to clothing to beauty to kitchen gadgets like, the portable blender to intimate wellness as well. So like vibrators and things of that nature. Really interesting, right? So let me look at the kitchen gadgets because this is going to be, to me, the most relevant when it comes to some of you guys that are dropshipping. Now, as you see, not all the products look extremely beautiful like the cover of that one product. And just like you see here as well, they are selling other brands too. So they're not scared to sell other branded products. Now, to me, what really makes this store is that they have quality product images, which is something that's much more accomplishable nowadays with AI, right? You can just basically remove the background on any image and create images like this. So interestingly enough, this is a perfect example of quantity. So they are going for an insane amount of quantity. If we take a look at their traffic distribution, we can see that they're driving nearly 750,000 monthly visitors. So that's a lot of visitors, right? I mean, that's nothing to joke about. And like I just mentioned, I found that they just raised their Series B. They're from California and they just raised a ton of money, which is just so interesting to me. People are estimating this to be $1 billion to $10 billion in revenue. But I actually don't know exactly, so that's why I'm just going to put 70 million in the title of this video. But interestingly enough, this is probably one of the reasons why this is getting a ton of buzz, is that this is a women-founded business. So it's a women's general store, basically. And truthfully, I think it looks so nice. And the fact that they have so many products available allows them to constantly be doing something new. So this is a dream come true for a marketer, right? Or an agency like mine, for example, because we can constantly be testing new things, constantly be launching new products and getting a very high return on ad spend on it, simply because we already have so much data on things that have worked. So super interesting approach. They also have an app, of course. That's not surprising. And now if we take a look at the age range distribution here, we can see that most of the traffic is 25 through 34. That makes a lot of sense. That's kind of the age range that I would guess would shop on this store. And again, keep in mind, this is a general store that has niched down to women products, right? So that's kind of the difference between this store and a normal general store. And I personally think that's genius. Now, if we take a look lastly at some of their traffic from keywords, so these are some of their top keywords, obviously a lot of volume from their own brand, but then also some random products like white zebra top. This is why keyword research is so interesting to do, because it gives you so many ideas of potential products or potential markets to target. And just how you see here, they're doing a lot, they're targeting so many different keywords. So when it comes to Google Ads, a lot of people are lazy about it and they never do keyword research. They don't add new keywords to their campaigns. They don't delete old keywords that are not doing well. And these are things that really help you be more profitable, especially when you're driving, 47% of your traffic through paid media. I mean, that just shows they're spending a lot of money on ads. Now, YouTube ads is huge for them. And then Pinterest. Pinterest is actually very, very clever, in my opinion, for a brand like this, because it's a lifestyle brand, right? It's a lifestyle brand. And actually, that's something you guys should consider if you are launching a general store. Treat it like a lifestyle brand. So you can have a ton of different product categories, right? But try to keep it within a certain theme. So again, when we look at this, you can see that the theme is just women's lifestyle, even though they do have some men's stuff. So they are starting to dive into the men's categories, which is smart. I mean, why wouldn't you? Especially if you have some amazing supplier relationships. Maybe they drop ship some of these products. I'm actually not sure, but let me look into it just briefly. We'll go to shipping. That's usually how you know whether or not they're drop shipping. So apparently they don't offer expedited shipping right now, which to me, that says, we're drop shipping your order. I could be wrong. And when I say that, I also don't say that in a negative connotation. I think drop shipping obviously has gotten a bad rep because of, all the young people that it's their first business they ever start, and they find a winning product, they scale it to the moon, and they get a bunch of angry customers and a broken supply chain. But dropshipping as a business model, as a fulfillment method rather, is a logistical dream if you think about it, right? If you don't have to rely on ordering bulk inventory that will take 3 months to get to the US, and then you have to pay a 3PL in the US, all these little things, it's actually very expensive. And really, when you have a 3PL in the US, which is a third-party logistics company set up, that is still considered dropshipping because you don't have orders or you don't have inventory that you're buying yourself. That's another great way to do it. Like if you can fulfill your own orders, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how you probably have the best customer experience, which is what you should be optimizing for in the long run. It's just a very expensive way to start your business. And if you can dropship your products, it can actually be a huge advantage at the beginning so that you can find product market fit at a low cost. Now, another thing that I find genius about this brand that I noticed is they have constantly this gift card giveaway. And all you have to do is sign up to their SMS list. It's very clever. This is actually their pop-up. We've done things like this at a chemi agency before with some clients where we're running ads to a lead generation page to a gift card that puts them into an email flow full of, different emails that they get over like a 28-day period, which is super powerful. So that's another thing that you can do. Let's say if you're already doing like 20K or 30K, this doesn't really make sense too much to do if you don't have a ad budget. But if you have some budget that you can reinvest into marketing, this is definitely something that you could try out, especially if you're trying to build your email list, which is super powerful, obviously. So anyways, just want to let you guys know, if you are a brand, like if you have a business that's doing around 50K or more, you should definitely hit us up at Akemi. We have basically all the systems that you need to scale. We do performance marketing mainly through Google and Meta. We also do TikTok, and we do have an email marketing partner, but Google and Meta is our bread and butter. We do have a waitlist on our site. You can find all the links in the description. So that would be really cool if you filled it out, and then we can see if it would be a good fit. But overall, I'm super, super impressed by this brand, especially because they got started in 2018. So that's not that long ago if you think about it, 5 years ago. And now they're reaching, a potential $1 billion in revenue. That's insane, right? Like that's a ridiculous amount of revenue. And it's really just through the quantity of their products. And apparently they must have some sort of competitive advantage with their supply chain. That's the only way I would guess that they're able to sell so many different products in so many different categories. Overall, super inspiring. If you are building a dropshipping general store, this should be your template that you try to emulate. This should be your holy grail in terms of what you could accomplish. But that's about it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.